The Haydock betting ring will be abuzz this Saturday. Sadly, this week we lost the fantastic 2008 Gold Cup winner Denman, who really encapsulated all that makes a legendary racehorse. He had bags of talent, however, it was his determination, willingness and battling abilities that made those grueling clashes with Kauto Star be remembered so fondly to racing fans. For me, it was his 2 Hennessy Gold Cup or newly named Ladbrokes Trophy that really highlighted what a special horse Denman was. Carrying a massive 11th 12 pounds, which was a huge 21 pounds more than second place What a Friend in 2009, he resolutely kept galloping on to secure one of the most heroic and special victories in British racing history. It says a lot that the last horse to reclaim a Hennessy Gold Cup was Carr in 1965. Of course, last week was Derby week, and it was personally a very exciting weekend to be right in the center of one of the best and most famous races in the world. I couldn't be happier following Miss R's win in the Derby, especially as I tipped him each way, but for Charlie Appleby, who really is a great trainer and deserves this success. Only moments before he won the race I was talking to Charlie, who even complimented me on my suit. As I watched the race unfold, I heard him shouting and bubbling with excitement. Never did I realize that grabbing my phone out to record Appleby would have been watched by over 20,000 people. It was a terrific Derby. Questions remain answered and unanswered, and it leaves racing in an exciting position ahead of the rest of the season. If you haven't seen my analysis of the race, make sure to check it out here. Short price backers were given a huge scare as Cracksman battled on late to win the Coronation Cup at Epsom. I was actually impressed by the way he kept going to deny what was almost the ride of the decade from the incredible seal-faced Ray D'Souza. He's drifted out in the Prince of Wales Stakes betting market, but Ascot's flat track will suit him much better, and I think he could be the best bets of the entire meeting. It was brilliant to see one of my favorite horses, Australia, have his first winner as a sire in the week, with Beyond Reason winning at Kempton. Despite a Balliol legend, he won in the Royal Blue of Godolphin and remains a stallion who has potential to produce some very exceptional horses. I've heard a few people saying that a Derby win keeps Godolphin interested in racing. Godolphin bring fantastic competition for racing, undoubtedly, but winning the Derby leaves them with only a sweet smile on their face, and a hunger to do it again. Godolphin will never tire of racing, even if they lose. Your browser doesn't support HTML5 video. Few awful news about Denman this morning. Another demolition job from Denman. Let's look back on one of his finest days, a second Hennessy win off 11th 12 pounds. He won from the front in what looked a good race at York last time, and despite a rise of 8 pounds could continue rising up the handicap ladder for William Haggis. He'll have quick ground in Scotland, and everything looks spot on for him this afternoon. 2:15 Haydock Podimos enjoyed a really competitive battle with the smart-looking John Gustin type in a maiden contest at Chepstow last time out, and despite a good effort he lost by half a length. It was a good run in defeat, and the fact that El Mogard has an entry in the Group 2 Queen's Vase highlights how strong that form could be. He steps into handicap company with a fair mark, should continue improving and has ground that will suit him. I expect him to go close here. 2:30 Musselburgh. It's great that Edinburgh Gin are sponsoring races on World Gin Day, so hopefully Tim Easterby's sprinter Copper Knight can pay for a round or two. Put in some good efforts last season on quick ground, winning twice at York before finishing only 3 lengths off Batash in a listed contest at Sandown, albeit when he still needed the run despite winning. His form reads well on tracks like this, and he is back down on a winnable mark. El Astronaut is a close second preference here. 2:50 Haydock Pinnacle. I am looking forward to seeing how far Luca Cumani's mare God-Given can develop this season, having boasted some good form as a 3-year-old last season. She ran a good race, went 4th at Ascot, and that form has taken a huge boost with Mirage Dancer, 2nd, winning Simpson Saloon, 3rd, almost beating Cracksman in the Coronation Cup last weekend. The ground is a little concerning, but I am confident God-given will have enough class to see off these rivals. Would a home is as strong each way fancy elsewhere. 305 Newmarket. Since being gelded, Sir Michael Stout's Georgian manner has improved significantly and could follow up his recent maiden success at Beverley in this competitive handicap contest. Prior to that he was a nose-off Emblazoned, who then finished third in a hot renewal of the Group 2 Sandy Lane, so his form looks good and he should be much better than his current handicap mark of 87. 325 Haydock, Achilles. In what looks an open contest, I fancy Muthmere to triumph for William Haggis on Jim Crowley. He's a smart sprinter last season, most notably winning a Group 2 in France. He was no match for Batash over course and distance last time, but warrants plenty of respect in this weaker race. Judical would be my second choice after a strong run in second in the Palace House. 340 Newmarket. Byron Flyer was only beaten by a head in this contest last season, and I can see him going one better this time around after a very pleasing effort at Haydock last time. He is up 2 pounds after losing by a head, but has been knocking on the door for a while now, and this looks an ideal opportunity for him to be winning, and Ryan Moore is always a positive booking. 4 o'clock Haydock. John Ogant. The key question going into this race is how good is Emmaus, and my answer is I think he could be very good. Of course he ran on very strongly on heavy ground when winning at Leicester, and going on to kick ground shouldn't be too much of a worry for Roger Varian's 4-year-old. He will need to progress well to beat the form of Dutch Connection, but he seems a smart prospect and I expect him to go close. Finally, keep an eye out for Justify, who runs in the Belmont Stakes in the USA this evening. He attempts to complete the American Triple Crown after wins in a Kentucky Derby in the Preakness Stakes. Justify doesn't represent great value, so I'd advise you to take a look at tenfold on and each way. He will relish this longer trip and is a horse on the rise.